to the farmers crowd and talk about some of the big strides that he's made through tariffs with nations like China, who have been taking advantage of us for far too long, Bobby. And you know, what a blessing to be here in the nation's heartland. And this is where we know he wants to house the Great American Fair that will take place a year from tomorrow. And so hopefully we'll get that official announcement tonight. We'll see.
Well, if everyone was tuning into coverage earlier, the fact that we talked to a gubernatorial candidate, U.S. Senate candidate, a state rep candidate who's 21 years old, lots of support here for President Trump in Iowa.
Absolutely. And a lot of supporters have shown up. You know, whenever you come to a Trump event.
What's up, Wolves Den? I'm assuming you made it home. What's going on? I mean, you were like on that like lightning. You're either really, really bored. Daisy, no. All right, good. Awesome. Yeah, I was it's a long story, but yeah, Roll Tide. There you go. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live tonight, but I'm just going with it right now. You bored? Well, at least you're home now. Daisy May. That's enough of that shit. This little dog of mine, it's my fault too, but I had some chicken salad from Buffalo Wild Wings. I ate my share, but I didn't eat it all, but I set it on the bed, and guess who got it? So I don't think there's anything in there that's really going to hurt her. But I think her mouth is probably a little hot right now, let's just say. Well, it was a little while ago, but she's had water. But I'm sure, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was good, but she probably like, whoa. So I was like on vacation. I don't know how to explain that to people, but I was here. I'll explain that tonight if I'm still live or go live. You know what I mean? Oh, I gotta make an important phone call though. And I gotta get my phone out of the car. I'll be right back because otherwise it's probably going to overheat, if not already. Okay, Rick, I'll be back, but I got to try to make a real important phone call.
Right. You love this country. We love this country. RSBnetwork.com/donate. The best way to do that. If it's $2, I love that $2 bill. $20, $200, $2,000, whatever it might be. We're deeply, deeply appreciative to keep this mission going. The vision of Joe Seals in July of 2015, a month after President Trump came down that golden escalator with our First Lady, Joe said, you know what? They're not covering these rallies. I'm going to start doing that. And it's changed the face of media over the course of the last decade.
And the whole Seals family stands firmly behind his mission, and I love that. They're a family united behind President Trump and behind God and behind making this country great. Let's just go back to this picture of Washington, because this is a stark reminder of what we're celebrating today. You can see how hard it was back then. 1776, George Washington, he was the leader of the Continental Army. What they had to fight for, the way they had to fight back then, and you look at how far we've come in our country today. Now we drive cars, obviously, but look at, they had to cross treacherous bodies of water. They had to go knowing that somebody could get sick with no doctor in sight. They had to push forward against the wilderness. They forged ahead with a dream, with a hope of living in a free country that we get to enjoy today. So many of our young people, they don't understand that freedom came at a great price in this country, a great price. And we cannot take it for granted, even though things seem easy and we are the richest country in the world per capita. It doesn't matter. Freedom's not free, and we are still going to have to fight for it, and we need them to get on board and support this country.
Christina, it's great to have people like you in the media raising your son right with messages like that, telling the truth about our history, about perhaps the greatest man to walk this earth since Jesus Christ. George Washington, truly a fine man, and we are so blessed to have him as the father of this great nation. And before we go to a commercial break, make sure you protect your savings in retirement, because as Christina put it, there's such a legacy here, now 249 years into this great constitutional republic of ours, and you've worked hard. So save those retirement savings and everything you need with gold and silver from Colonial Metals Group, because China, the communists, are trying to dump U.S. bonds. They want our primetime farmland in and around our military bases. How dare they do that with manipulating their currency, but they've been doing it for a long time. So where does that leave you? Devastating your IRA and 401k perhaps, but you have options. freegoldguide.com/RSBN, your go-to for 100% tax-free gold. Also, standing a chance to win $7,500 in free silver if you go with a purchase through the No Obligation Gold Guide. U.S. Attorney Judge Jeanine Pirro, she loves this group, Colonial Metals Group, and so do we here. They really are the best. So call 866-317-2159, freegoldguide.com/RSBN. And while you're at it, with some of that leftover savings and everything that's going so well with the economy, passing the one big beautiful bill, the signing tomorrow, also all those new jobs here in the United States, why not grab a MyPillow 2.0? With God, all things are providing us that pathway with one of the best deals he's ever had. And President Trump has said he's the master marketer, Mike Lindell. And you can get this new MyPillow multi-use 2.0. It's outstanding. That's how I got my sleep regulated, through mypillow.com/RSBN. It's a $40 value on the house with this pillow with any purchase. And you have over 2,000 options on the website. So support RSBN and MyPillow, mypillow.com/RSBN. Thank you to the purveyor of free speech and defender of election integrity and lover of all this, and George Washington himself, Mr. Mike Lindell. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. You're at America250.org watching RSBN, the live desk here in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm Robert McNeely with Christina Loren. We'll be back momentarily. Breaking news from RSBN. All Family Pharmacy has a great new deal now through July 13th. Buy one, get one free. That means ivermectin, mebendazole, hydrochloroquine, all doubling the amount you order. So if you get 30 capsules, it's then 60. 90 capsules turn into 180, all thanks to allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. When the big chains cut you out and they present the red tape, it's patriots that will protect themselves through allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. Act now, protect your health. Let's make America healthy again. allfamilypharmacy.com. BOGO, buy one, get one free, now through July 13th. allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN.
All right, so it's 3:37 right now. Of course, watching America 250 live coverage from Iowa. This is your news break. I'm Matthew Alvarez. As we see the White House there, we're following that developing news that most of us have heard already, that the one big beautiful bill has passed in the U.S. House of Representatives. Next stop, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, President Trump's desk. Looking forward to seeing that happen. It looks like there will be a big, beautiful bill signing ceremony tomorrow on top of the great July 4th ceremony that you're going to see at the White House. You can watch all of that coverage right here on Right Side tomorrow. Hopefully have a good weekend, of course, with some American barbecue, enjoying our freedoms here in this nation. Let's go to Speaker of the House Mike Johnson from moments ago on Capitol Hill. He signed the bill as well as it will head toward the president. And then he also had a few things to say. Here is the Speaker of the House.
Thank you. This is the vote tally card. We're going to frame this one, okay? 218, 214. Listen, I'm not going to give you a long speech. A lot has been said today, and these people are exhausted. A couple of us quite literally haven't slept in 2 days, so I'm a danger to myself and others right now. I'm not going to speak off the cuff. I'll just say this. I mean, many of you have asked me this question in the hall over the last couple of days. But when it looked like that we might actually deliver this thing, particularly this morning, how did you know? I mean, what kept you going? Why did you think this was possible? You guys made an audacious plan. You brought the most comprehensive, complicated piece of legislation, probably, arguably in the top 2 or 3 in the history of the Congress, with the smallest margin in U.S. history, which we had for a big chunk of the first 100 days. And you put this audacious timeline. You said you were going to pass it out of the House by Memorial Day. I mean, some of you openly laughed at me when I said that back in early February. And then we said we would get it done by July 4th. We beat Memorial Day by 4 days, and we got this one done a day early. I just want to point out, okay? So the question was, I mean, well, like, why? Why did you do that? Why did you think that was possible? Because it sums up. I would sum it up with one word. It's belief. Okay. We had a vision for what we wanted to do as a group. We believed in the election cycle last fall that we were going to be given this great blessing of unified government, that we would have the White House and the Senate and the House aligned, in alignment, unified government. And we did not want to waste that opportunity because we understand the history that comes along with it, the opportunity that we can do for the country, and we believe that we would have that chance. And then I believe in the people that are standing here behind me. I believe in this group, every single one of them individually. Some of them are more fun to deal with than others, you know. I mean that with the greatest level of respect. I love every single one of my colleagues. Even the ones I got to spend the more time with, right? Because everybody's here. Their motive is right. Their heart is right. They're trying to do right for their constituents. They're trying to serve the greatest nation in the history of the world that we're going to celebrate tomorrow. We don't take that lightly. I know their hearts, and I know what their skill sets are, and I know what they bring to the table, and I get up every day excited because I know that each of them are going to bring that to the table, and they're going to serve their constituents. You could not have a greater group of public servants than the people standing in this room right here. They will give their all for this country, and man, that's what the framers intended when they put this thing together 249 years ago. This is what it was about. So I believed in this vision. I believed in the group. I believe in America. I believe we have the greatest nation. I'm going to say this very simply, and everybody here would articulate it in their own way. We had a tough 4 years before this last election cycle. America we were in deep trouble. And we knew that if we won, and we believed we would, we knew that if we got unified government, we'd have to quite literally fix every area of public policy. Everything was an absolute disaster under the Biden-Harris radical, woke, progressive Democrat regime. And we took the best effort that we could in one big, beautiful bill to fix as much of it as we could. And I am so grateful to God that we got that done as we did. Because of the dedication, yeah. Lastly, it's no secret, do believe in God. I believe in that motto that's up that I referenced in the floor speech a little while ago. I believe that is what has made our nation the greatest in the history of the world. And some people shake their heads and they think that's old-fashioned or something. That is a fact. When the framers put this together, they stepped out in faith. They did something that no nation had ever done before. The great statesman, philosopher G.K. Chesterton of Great Britain said, America is the only nation in the world that was founded upon a creed. And he said it's listed with almost theological lucidity or clarity in the nation's birth certificate, the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that we recognize, we boldly proclaim the self-evident truth that our rights do not come from the government, they come from God himself. He's the one that gave us our rights. That's right. Abraham Lincoln said in the Gettysburg Address, we are dedicated to this proposition, to one nation, under God. A government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. This is an experiment. It's only 249 years, y'all. That's not a long span of time in human history. It's just a blip on the whole scale of human history. It is up to us to save it. It's up to the duly elected representatives of the people to come here and represent. And it's up to every single one of us. Of the people, by the people, for the people, all of us. So you got to be engaged, and we got to pass this along to the next generation. Reagan reminded us, freedom's not inherited in the bloodstream. It's got to be protected. It's got to be fought for. It's got to be taught to the next generation so that they will have the same liberty, opportunity, and security that we have all known and too often take it for granted. So I just want to say, we're going to get to the main event here. We're about to sign this bill and get it over to the White House, okay? Some of these men and women have got to go catch flights and stuff. So we're going to sign this real quick, and I'll take a few questions. But I just want.
All right, I'm just watching what's going on. And that happened that's old. That already happened about a half hour ago. But President Trump will be speaking later in Ohio, and I do want to listen to it. Now, here's the thing that some people might not like what I have to say. I trust Trump. Yeah, everything he said he was going to do, I think he's pretty much done that. I agreed, I think. If there's something else I'm missing, I don't know. But so let's see what's on YouTube.